All right, guys, good morning. Today's an exciting day because I mocked this up over the weekend. I didn't change these paths. And I was going to come out and say, guys, the point of max pain here that would cause the most amount of pain in the market is if we actually headed back up here and we broke the bear flag to the upside, which is not what a lot of people are expecting, especially with the bearish news, the tariffs, a lot of this uncertainty until about April 2nd. What are we going to see? Are we going to see trade deals made, or are we going to just see this continual pummeling of the stock market and cryptocurrencies? So what we're doing right now, guys, is we are actually pushing back up here, and we have perfectly completed the top resistance of, listen guys, the bear flag. So the bear flag is still intact. However, if we start moving back up here with a lot of people with their bullish sentiments, if we move up, we're going to cause what's called a short squeeze, a pretty big one, because the majority of the people are expecting the predictable pattern to play out, which is the bear flag and a continuation, which is a bearish continuation, lower high, lower low to the downside. But if we start moving back up here, this is going to be interesting. I'll come back to that chart in a second, but I want to show you guys something here. If we look at this on the Bitcoin futures, the gap has obviously been filled, but we have also now, just this morning, crossed over a very crucial descending resistance point. And we are starting to push up here, which is a bullish sign. A break and retest on lower time frames is absolutely possible here, but we got to watch here if we're going to either get maybe what's called a dead cat bounce, where we see it drop back down, a move back up, a fake out, then a push lower. So the stock market goes lower, and then we have bonds go up, which lowers the 10-year yield, so Trump can actually refinance the $7 trillion at a cheaper interest rate. I'm not sure if right now is the moment that everything's going to scream up here. I still think we have some bearish moves back down, and this could be a little bit of a bull trap at the moment, is kind of what I'm thinking. Now, taking a look at this, let's take a look at what happened last time we were in the breakout detector zone. So this is an indicator we built. You guys can grab it in the description under our indicators. The first time, at least on this schematic duration of time, when this happened, we saw Bitcoin drop 6.88%. Then we saw an 8.85%. Then we saw almost a 12% drop, and then almost a 20% drop. If you add all these up together and average them, it's about 12%. So what I was looking for here is, okay, once we came into this consolidation zone, were we going to see a move up, or were we going to see a move back down? If you average this out to about 12%, what we're looking at are a few different price ranges here. So let's come out here and let's take a price range from right when we dipped into this area, and I'll give you guys these targets. So 12% to the upside would place us right at about 94,742. To the downside, this 12% would place us right around this area of about 73,988. So let's call it 74,000. So a 94 to 74, it's a $20,000 swing. At this moment, I think it's just a little bit too early which way this is going to head, because we're just slamming into resistance right now and we could be moving back down. So that is an update quickly on just where the market structure is at. However, here's what we're going to talk about tomorrow morning in the future forecast with all of our members. This is something you're going to want to pay attention to. I was working on this over the weekend. I have never seen anybody put a chart together like this, and I think you guys are really going to like it. What I've done is I've put together a chart that looks at a few different things. Liquidity, specifically global liquidity. Then we're going to be looking at the M2 money supply, and we're going to lay over the assets, the Fed balance sheet. And then we're going to lay over a stochastic, a custom setting that you guys probably haven't seen before. What I found when I did this was a predictable pattern that has pushed Bitcoin up not 10, 20, 30%. We're talking multiple hundreds of percents when this happens. We're also going to take a look at what happens. Let me get this a little bit shorter here. When you switch from, you guys will probably see this a lot online, especially from a guy named Benjamin, from QT to QE. What I've done is I placed all these on one chart. And there is this predictable pattern that I see at a certain time frame here that once we cross over this threshold, basically everything in the background from a Fed perspective, from a monetary perspective, it gets massively bullish. And this is where I think people, and this is why, guys, I have $1 million in the market, and any risk management that I've done, I've only taken out 20%, and I have those in buy limits in case we go lower. But the majority is still in the market. Because there's this time frame here, which I believe is actually in the next 2 weeks, okay, I'll give you this kind of time frame, 2 weeks, where everything starts getting really rocky. Maybe the stock market sees a little bit of a flash crash, and then we start heading back upwards here into what I would like to suggest, guys, would be a super cycle. Okay? I've said over and over on these YouTube videos, this is not a bear market. This is just simply a drop. It's just, Doge is stirring things up. You've also got the refinancing that Trump needs to do. Guys, once this is out of the way, there are so many bullish things happening from not only a monetary perspective, but also all the Coinbase cases against the SEC that was dropped. So Coinbase, you've got Robinhood. What else do you have? You've got the Uniswap case. Obviously, the Ripple case was the biggest one. So everything behind the scenes, guys, is literally so stinking bullish, but the market is going down. So what happens when all these uncertainties get pushed out of the way? And all of these right here just start absolutely taking off. Global liquidity, M2, the assets, the balance sheet, the stochastic, the QTQE. It is going to rip. So I'll end this here because I don't want to make this too long. Tomorrow morning in the future forecast, this is exactly what we're going to talk about because I have a chart that I've never shown you guys before. This is over at tradeconfident.io. There's a link in the description. It's actually the first link. Use the coupon code, okay? It's 25% off. The future forecast will come out underneath the future forecast section tomorrow morning. We'll obviously be talking about alt season because I predicted last video, I was showing you guys some signs here that we could be starting to see the precursors of the official alt season starting. So I'll give you guys an update on that. Okay, guys, that is tomorrow morning. If you would like to, as a member, also join our trade setups, you can do that. We are 284 wins, 0 losses with 14 active trades pending. You can join any of those if you would like. We also have indicators for our members, which I didn't go over too much today, but the breakout detector is in here. We give you guys $150 off all of our indicators once you become members. And then we give you an extra $400 off as well when you guys purchase the Pro Pack. So about $550 off of all of our indicators just by becoming a member for $49 a month, and that is with the discount code. All right, guys, I'll see you guys tomorrow morning in the future forecast. Have a good one. You are going to want to see this chart, and I'm looking to probably put in a few more $1,000 based off what I show you guys tomorrow morning so I can get in just a little bit more in case this happens sooner than we all actually expected and max pain actually plays out here. All right, guys, I'll see you tomorrow morning. God bless. Bye-bye.